So let's think about Microsoft's mission first. Our mission is to empower every person and organization on the planet to be able to do more. 10 years ago, this mission statement was penned. And I think probably about 5 years ago, we could see there was massive kind of innovation happening. Technology was, growing at an exponential rate. If we fast forward now, 5 years, and you think about actually what does generative AI do? Well, one of the biggest use cases of it is productivity. It's automating those mundane tasks. So from a Microsoft advertising standpoint, we work with clients and we work with agencies. And if you think about search advertising, you think about display, there's a lot of mundane, repetitive tasks which generative AI can now actually automate and support our clients and our advertisers in doing at a much quicker pace. So, analyzing data, for example, that would take me 4 or 5 hours, generative AI can do in minutes. And so it's really freeing up people so that they can be empowered to spend their time in other areas that may be of more benefit than just doing those mundane tasks. So productivity is one of those use cases, but essentially it's about empowering people. I think the other thing is as well, and if you think about the mission statement, one of the things that we did is we put Copilot into Bing Search, and the reason why we did that was twofold. One is if you look at the pillars of responsible AI, which is the framework that we are guided by, one of those pillars is about fairness and inclusivity. And by putting Copilot into Bing, which is free for everyone to use, it democratizes that technology from the get-go. But also we could see from the searches that people were doing that actually searches were becoming more and more complex, but search engines weren't able to actually return the results in that succinct way in which people needed them. So by putting Copilot on top of the search engine, it was able to go to all of those disparate sources, understand the different meanings or use cases for the query, and pull together all the potential responses that a user could have to be able to go, here's what you may be looking for. So me as the user could then look at those and really zero in on what it was I was really looking to achieve, or what information I was really looking for, to then go straight to that. So really about empowering people to be able to find the information, to be able to be more productive and be able to do more, and really create a level playing field as much as possible for everyone. So I guess if we take that use case of Copilot on Bing Search, for example, again, if we're thinking about, so I'm someone who's notorious for writing really long queries when I'm looking for stuff, and I think it's because I'm being really, really direct. But actually for a search engine, there are too many prompts there for it to then try and figure out actually what is it I'm trying to look for. So previously I might have to, and I remember actually, there got to a point when I was having to look on page 3 of the search engine results page to actually find what I was looking for. And it was really frustrating for me as a user. It wasn't the best use of my time, so I was spending hours and hours trying to actually drill down into that particular thing that I was looking for. And you could say that the language I was using probably wasn't helpful, or that I wasn't clear, but that is because that we're in a very complex world, and there are many things that we could mean through language is complex, as we know anyway. So now with Copilot, I'm able to still put in that very complex query, but Copilot is able to go, well, I think you may mean this, or this, or this, and it will give me 3 or 4, maybe even 6 different meanings or results for what my question is. I am then able to go, instead of looking at page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm able to just look at those answers and go, is that what I meant? If it's no, then I can further refine my query and it will get me a few more. I'm not having to go into each of those links to see whether it's got me the right answer. I'm able to see a synopsis in front of me, so I can make a decision as to whether or not I've had my answer and then move on from there. So we're actually seeing that the way in which users are interacting on the web is changing. If I've got the intent of looking for a particular product or a particular service, I'm more likely to now find that product or service quicker, which means that my user journey has been cut down with the aid of Copilot. And that in itself is obviously having an impact for advertisers, because the opportunities to interact with me are changing, and the number of times that they can interact with me are changing. The flip side, and the other side that you asked me with regards to how this is impacting advertising platforms. So we have Copilot infused into our Microsoft advertising platform, and it has the ability to create campaigns from a URL and a bid strategy. It has the ability to create ads. We have a whole raft of data that we gather from from Windows, Microsoft 365, Xbox, LinkedIn profile data, demographic data, and we're able to pull that all into a Microsoft graph. Copilot is able to take that information. It's also able to see how I interact on the web. It's able to see what ads am I clicking on, what ads do I like, what do I not like, what sort of formats do I interact with, which ones do I not interact with, which ones do I dismiss. And it's really able to then, also with search intent, understand what it is I'm really interested in right now. And it can make a decision at the bid stage and at the ad serving stage as to actually which advertiser is going to be interesting to me right now. Which of these ads is something that I'm more likely to interact with, whether that's to do with the format or the actual product or service that they're trying to advertise. And so it's making my experience as a consumer, as a user, more personalized to me in that moment in time. So it's really bringing to life that whole audience-centric advertising of, right person, right message at the right time, in the right format, in the right place. And for me, Copilot is really bringing that to life in the advertising platform. And that is what generative AI is bringing to the table.